I've heard countless chilling stories from the deep web, and trust me when I say it's not a place you want to be. What I'm about to share with you is something that happened to me about 3 years ago. I was 17 at the time, still in high school, and like any typical teenager, I was surrounded by friends who always seemed to be talking about the weirdest stuff. One afternoon, we were all hanging out when a couple of my friends started discussing some strange websites they had stumbled upon online. They started mentioning something called the deep web. At first, I had no clue what they meant. They talked about dark corners of the internet filled with things that were too bizarre, too terrifying to even imagine. Of course, I had to know more. I needed to see it for myself. So they showed me a couple of videos. One was about a so-called black market, and another was a documentary of sorts about people accessing the deep web. There were things in these videos that I couldn't fully comprehend, but something about the secrecy, the danger, and the unknown, it got to me. I couldn't shake the idea that I was staring into something forbidden, something that wasn't meant for my eyes. I wanted to see more, I couldn't help it. The curiosity was too strong. But how could I access the deep web? I needed to know the answer to that question. After doing some research for a few days, I finally came across the tool that everyone was using, Tor. It was the gateway to the hidden internet, the tool that would give me access to everything my friends had been talking about. And so, with a mix of excitement and hesitation, I downloaded it, almost like I was about to step into another world. The first time I opened Tor, it felt like I had just unlocked the door to a forbidden realm. At first, my exploration was pretty lame. I stumbled upon a bunch of boring documents, some academic papers, and some random, useless information. But then, things took a dark turn. I found pages that were selling weapons, hitmen, and other illegal activities. I knew better than to go down that rabbit hole, so I kept my distance. But I couldn't stop myself. I had to know more. About 30 minutes into my journey, I found a video sharing site. It wasn't like YouTube or Vimeo, but it was familiar enough. The videos were mostly low quality, grainy, unsettling clips, some of which were just images with disturbing music in the background. Other videos looked like homemade tapes, the kind you'd never want to watch alone in the dark. I clicked on a few of them. The jump scares weren't even the worst part. It was the unsettling atmosphere. It was like I was being watched the whole time, even though I was alone in my room. I was about to close the browser, but something caught my eye. A chat room. The curiosity got the better of me once again. I clicked on it. There were about 15 people chatting. Each of them was talking about different videos they'd seen, sharing their thoughts, commenting on the things they'd come across. Since the chat allowed anyone to comment without any real registration process, I decided to leave a message. Just something simple. Hey, what have you guys been watching? Immediately, the entire chat went silent. I was left staring at the screen, wondering if I had said something wrong. Had I broken some unspoken rule? After a few seconds, someone finally replied, "Hello to you back. I see we have a new victim to toy with. I thought it was a joke, so I decided to play along. Big mistake. Haha, yeah, I guess I am, aren't I? What are you going to do? Come to my house and take me away." The response came quickly. "Oh, we're going to do that, just you wait. We know you've been watching videos for the past hour." I didn't understand. What did they mean? That's when I noticed something strange at the bottom of the page. A counter. It displayed the number of people currently on the site. I had missed that before, but now I saw that the number hadn't changed. It stayed exactly the same before and after I joined the chat. Somehow they knew exactly what I had been doing. And then I realized something even more unsettling. It wasn't just the chat that was strange. I had my Skype open in the background. Before I could process that information, the message appeared, "Thanks for leaving your Skype open. We can't wait to find you." I froze. My heart pounded in my chest. How could they know that? How could they know I was on Skype? I quickly logged off, my mind racing. I had no idea what to do. The next day, I told my friends about what had happened. They didn't believe me at first. They thought I was just exaggerating, trying to scare them. But I convinced them to come over to my house that afternoon to see for themselves. As soon as I logged in, I saw a notification. a missed message. The same person who had messaged me yesterday had sent another message. I clicked on it, my stomach dropping. It read, "Did you think signing off would hide you from me? Don't tell me you thought I couldn't tell you were being sarcastic. Also, thanks for leaving your Skype open and your webcam on. I can't wait to find you." There was an attachment, a screenshot. I couldn't believe it. It was a picture of the conversation I'd had the day before, and in the image I could see my Skype screen, my webcam feed, my face staring back at me. My friends thought I was messing with them, but when they saw the fear in my eyes, they knew I wasn't. I was terrified. The only thing I could think to do was to wipe my computer clean. I reset it completely, erasing everything. For a while, I thought it was over, but it wasn't. 6 months later, strange things started happening. At first, it was subtle. I noticed a dark minivan parked near my house. It was there one night, then the next, then the next. I tried to ignore it. After all, it could have been anyone. But then, it started following me. Every time I left the house, it was there. It kept its distance, but I could feel it. It was always watching. I called the police, but they couldn't do much since the van hadn't actually done anything wrong. They promised to keep an eye out, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Finally, just when I thought things couldn't get worse, my family was preparing to move. My dad had found a new job, and I was about to leave for college. That morning, I went out for a run. When I came back, there was a small box sitting on my porch. It was odd, but I didn't think much of it. Maybe it was a gift or something left by a friend. But when I opened it, I could feel the blood drain from my face. Inside were pictures of my house, pictures of me, taken from a distance. Some were taken at home, others at the park. The worst part was the note. "See, I told you I would find out where you lived. But why did you have to call the cops? You ruined our fun. You're lucky I'm feeling nice and letting you go. But don't ever mess around with me or our chat room again." I couldn't breathe. The feeling of dread was overwhelming. I showed the photos to the police, but by then everything had been wiped clean from my computer. The trail had gone cold. I never found out who it was, how they knew where I lived, or how they tracked me down. I never got any answers. But I know one thing for sure: the deep web is a place I'll never go again. That world is dark and dangerous, and sometimes curiosity comes with a cost I'll never forget.